Alright, settle in folks, my name is Yassien, and tonight we're diving headfirst into the deep, dark corners of human history. Welcome to our tour of the most disturbing discoveries ever unearthed. Things that make you tilt your head, squint your eyes, and go, huh, that's odd. Not your run-of-the-mill footnotes, these are big-league head-scratchers. Puzzles that leave experts shrugging and staring blankly for decades. Grab a snack, maybe turn on an extra light. Things are about to get strange. Each item is a genuine enigma, a question mark stamped onto history. Kicking things off at number 10, we have the Voynich manuscript. Picture this, it's 1912. A rare book dealer named Wilfred Voynich is poking around a Jesuit monastery in Italy. He stumbles upon this old vellum-bound book, filled with bizarre illustrations of plants that don't exist, naked ladies chilling in weird green plumbing, astrological charts that look like they were drawn by someone on a very, very strange trip. The real kicker though? The entire thing is written in a script that nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever been able to decipher. Sliding into the number 9 spot is a story that is profoundly unsettling, the Dyatlov Pass incident. In February 1959, 9 experienced Soviet hikers set out on an expedition in the Ural Mountains. When a search party finally found their camp, it was a scene of pure chaos. Their tent was sliced open from the inside. All their belongings were left behind. Warm clothes, shoes, supplies. It was as if something made them flee in a blind panic into the sub-zero wilderness. This is Russia, in winter. You don't leave your tent without shoes unless you absolutely have to. The bodies were found scattered over the next few months. Some were nearly a mile from the camp. Here's where it gets really disturbing. Some were found wearing only their underwear in minus 30-degree weather. 3 of them had fatal internal injuries. Crushed ribs, a fractured skull, but with no external signs of trauma. Soviet investigators cryptically concluded the cause of death was a compelling natural force. The official files were classified for years, leaving this icy tragedy shrouded in mystery. At number 8, we have a discovery that feels like it was ripped straight out of a sci-fi movie, the Antikythera mechanism. In 1901, sponge divers exploring a Roman-era shipwreck found a corroded lump of bronze. It sat in a museum for decades, dismissed as just another piece of ancient junk. Then someone X-rayed it. What they found inside blew their minds. It was a complex system of interlocking bronze gears, dials, inscriptions, an ancient analog computer, incredibly advanced. It could predict eclipses, track the movements of the sun, the moon, the 5 known planets. This level of engineering wasn't expected until the 14th century in Europe, over 1,500 years later. It completely rewrites what we thought the ancient Greeks were capable of. Coming in at number 7, we're looking to the stars for an answer we've never received. On August 15, 1977, astronomer Jerry Ayman was pointing Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope at the sky as part of the SETI project, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Suddenly, the telescope picked up a powerful, narrow-band radio signal lasting for 72 seconds. It came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, and it was exactly the kind of signal astronomers were hoping to find. It was so strong, so perfect, that Ayman circled the printout and wrote one simple, iconic word in the margin. Wow! The signal was an anomaly. It was 30 times louder than the background noise of deep space, and was at a frequency that is naturally protected, meaning it's a great channel for interstellar communication. The team tried to find it again, pointing the Big Ear and other more powerful telescopes at that same patch of sky for years. They found nothing, just the cold, quiet static of space. Was it a transmission from an alien civilization, a previously unknown natural phenomenon, or just a 1 in a billion fluke reflection of an Earth-based signal? We've been listening ever since, but the wow signal remains a singular, tantalizing whisper from the great beyond. For our number 6 spot, we travel to Brazil, the baffling lead masks case. In August 1966, a young boy flying a kite on Vintem Hill stumbled upon the bodies. 2 men, Manuel Pereira da Cruz and Miguel Jose Viana, dressed in neat suits, lying on a bed of pine needles. Beside them, an empty water bottle, 2 wet towels, a notebook. Both men wore crude, homemade lead masks over their eyes. The notebook held a cryptic set of instructions. 1630, be at the agreed place. 1830, ingest capsules. After the effect, protect metals. Await mask signal. Autopsy, no cause determined. Toxicology inconclusive, organs too decomposed. Electronics technicians, a bizarre spiritualist ritual, trying to contact aliens, trying to contact spirits, or murder so strange it couldn't be solved. The case went cold, leaving the eerie image of 2 men in suits and lead masks, waiting for a signal that never came. Our number 5 mystery is so classic, it has its own name. The Tamam Shud case, also known as the Mystery of the Somerton Man. On December 1, 1948, a body was found propped up against a seawall on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. He was an unidentified man, well-dressed in a suit and tie, with all the labels cut out of his clothing. His pockets contained a bus ticket, a train ticket, some chewing gum, and cigarettes. But no wallet, no cash, and no ID. The autopsy found signs of congestion and hemorrhage consistent with poisoning, but no trace of any poison was ever found. He was a complete ghost. The mystery deepened when, months later, a pathologist re-examining the man's clothes found a tiny hidden fob pocket containing a rolled-up scrap of paper. On it were printed the words, Tamam Shud, a Persian phrase meaning it is ended or it is finished. The scrap was torn from the final page of a rare edition of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. A nationwide appeal led police to a man who had found the exact book tossed into his car around the time of the death. In the back of that book, written in faint pencil, was what looked like a complex code and a local nurse's phone number. The nurse denied knowing the man, and the code has never been broken. Who was he? Was he a spy, a jilted lover? We still don't know. At number 4, we have a treasure hunt that's been going on for over 200 years. The Oak Island Money Pit. The legend begins in 1795. A teenager noticed a depression in the ground on a small island off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada. Believing it was pirate treasure, he and his friends started digging. What they found was one of the most elaborate and deadly booby traps in history. Every 10 feet they dug, they hit a layer of oak logs. The pit seemed engineered to flood with seawater from nearby tunnels. Bracing ourselves for number 3, we head high into the Himalayas' Rupkund Lake, Skeleton Lake. When the ice melts for a few weeks in summer, a gruesome secret is revealed. Hundreds upon hundreds of skeletons, some with flesh and hair still attached. But modern DNA analysis throws a massive curveball. They don't belong to one group or one time. South Asian group dates to around 800 AD, the Mediterranean group died around 1800 AD, 1,000 years later. Our runner-up for the most disturbing discovery at number 2 are the Nazca Lines. Etched into the dry, desolate plains of southern Peru are hundreds of enormous geoglyphs. We're talking about massive, stylized drawings of animals like a hummingbird, a spider, a monkey, and a whale, as well as complex geometric patterns and long, straight lines that stretch for miles. Some are as long as the Empire State Building is tall. They can only be truly appreciated from high up in the air. And at number 1, a case so perplexing it appears on our list twice in spirit. But this is the origin of the mystery. The Somerton Man. This unidentified individual found on an Australian beach in 1948 was in peak physical condition. Yet he was dead. The coroner famously said he'd never seen a man so physically perfect. The cause of death was likely an untraceable poison, suggesting a professional, almost clinical execution. Every single label on his clothing was painstakingly removed, a clear effort to erase his identity. The investigation became a global obsession. Fingerprints were sent around the world, but no match was ever found. The mysterious code in the back of the Rubaiyat book. The nurse who seemed terrified but claimed to know nothing. It all paints the picture of a Cold War spy, or a clandestine affair gone horribly wrong. In 2022, a researcher claimed to have identified him via DNA as Carl Charles Webb, an electrical engineer from Melbourne. But this hasn't been officially confirmed by police. Even if it is him, it answers the who, but not the why. Why was he there? Who did he meet? And what does Tamam Shud truly signify? The Somerton Man remains the ultimate ghost, a man who, for all intents and purposes, never was. And there you have it, 10 stories, 10 bottomless pits of questions. Which of these discoveries gets under your skin the most? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Thank you so much for watching. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.